The following is a special presentation of Tony Kurre Radio.
Welcome back to the K4Wins. It's Tone the Bone along with Gregory. He's been doing this handicapping stick for about 4 different decades, 3 different generations. And, of course, Case Keefer back with us hopefully on Friday, as well as Kip Keefer. He's executive director of Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Case is out there in Las Vegas, and we're also working to get another guy who actually used to be a pit guy out in, he used to be the pit boss out at Caesars and also the Las Vegas Club. Tommy Kaminsky is supposed to be joining us on the show here in the next couple of weeks. So we'd like to have that contingency of Las Vegas out there. But in the meantime, we've been on fire, my friend. Tell us how everyone's been doing the last few days. If you went to K4Wins.com, you should be happy.
We should, and we actually had some new signups over the weekend who I know are happy. Since our podcast last Tuesday, so 7 days. Last Tuesday, 4-0. Last Wednesday, 3-0. Last Thursday, 3-1. Friday, 3-0. Saturday, 5-0. Sunday, 4-0. Monday, 2-0-1 with a horrible push for a tie in Major League Baseball exhibition when we had the Washington Nationals getting plus 184 against Houston, tied 2-2. So that's 24-1-1 our last 7 days for a profit for $100 better of plus $2,290. Last month, 91-38 or a profit of $49.20. Year to date, 219 and 118 profit, Tony, plus $89.20.
There you go.
Not too shabby. Now, does that happen? We're not saying that's going to happen every week. That's not your typical week. But we
24-1 is like once or twice in a lifetime kind of thing. Let's just be honest. Yeah. I mean, 24-1. I can remember going 26-2 once, and I mean, it was like, you're going to go 2-26 a lot more. You go to 26-2 unless you check out K4Wins.com, K4Wins.com. All right, so we're going to get after it. March Madness. What a monster day! We have seven SEC games later on tonight. We're going to go game by game. We're going to go through some of the games. We'll wait till Friday if we're on to talk about Saturday. But Bruce Pearl opened his big old pie hole. His son doesn't appear to be on a very good track right now. Joe Lunardi has Auburn as one of the first 4 out. He has the last team in, Indiana, and Duke, the overall number 1. And he said that Miami of Ohio, who comes rolling in tonight, undefeated, taking on Toledo, favored by 7.5 at home, he said that they're going to have to win their conference tournament to get in. He said the committee's going to have a tough call, he said, because he believes that it's not the most deserving teams, but it's the best teams, and he believes his Auburn Tigers are a better basketball team than Miami of Ohio. Your thoughts?
He sounds like Alabama football fans every year at the playoffs when they need like 7 teams to lose so they can get in, which has happened for them over the last 15 years. I think there was 4 different times that Alabama going into the last week of the season needed either a team to lose to get into the SEC championship or a team to lose to get in the playoffs, and every time it happened. It's kind of crazy. Miami of Ohio can lose a game. They could lose tonight at home, and they can lose in the tournament, and they're probably still getting in.
Sure.
I just where they are, it would be ridiculous, and even to see what their coach said, I don't agree with their AD that Bruce Pearl shouldn't be on TV because he's like Pat McAfee. He's just, he just like legend on your show. Yep. He's there because he's crazy and people come and want to see what kind of stupid shit is going to get said.
Yep.
And Pat McAfee and Bruce Pearl and Legend give them something every single time. To love.
I mean, you can make an argument if Auburn plays Miami on a neutral court. I would say Miami would be probably a 2 or 3 point favorite. Yeah, about 2 or 3.
Probably so.
I think that's right. So you can make an argument, but again, when you talk about the difference between the best and deserving, and I'm not sure exactly what the NCAA handbook says, but this is how we play it out. But I mean, it would be again. I go back. I think there was a Manhattan team that was 33-4. Maybe 10, 12 years ago that did not make it in out of the WAC. I think it was the WAC, whatever Manhattan's in. But I mean, their 4 losses were to horrible teams. So to like what some team, Elon, Olson, Grand Valley, Southeastern State, something or other. I mean, there was, and the crazy thing is Miami has won 4 more true road games than Auburn has played this year.
Well, their problem is if you look at the scheduling, and you look at Ken Palm, there's 365 teams in Ken Palm. Mm-hmm. Their strength of schedule is like 358.
Yeah, it's horrible. I mean, you play your schedule. I mean, and I realize a lot of people are like, well, why don't they play more play more conference things? Well, maybe they will. I mean, I don't know, and I couldn't even tell you what Miami, the Redhawks, did last year.
People don't want to schedule them, Tony. Yeah. I mean, their coach even said it. He's like, why would some of these major teams schedule them now? Yeah, this year, okay, but let's be honest, the schedule's made at least a year ahead of time.
You know what? And I don't believe that. I don't believe because they do schedule 3 or 4 years. I don't believe the UAB Blazers used to use that argument. And that's bullshit. Everyone will schedule you. They will schedule you. Now, you got to be a big boy. You got to bring something to the table. If you're at one of these coaches versus cancer things, they're normally taking Duke, Kentucky, North Carolina, and Arizona. They're not taking Miami of Ohio, okay? So you're not going to get into these countries. So maybe this is something where, like Alabama's got Arizona at the BJCC, maybe they need to create some type of tournament for themselves. You can do that. You can create your own tournament, have it in town or whatever. But yeah, the fact that Bruce Pearl, that's absolutely ridiculous. And quite frankly, Auburn, what is 15-14? They got a tough game tonight. They're taking on LSU, and I say a tough game. They're both 15-14. That's a game that Auburn's got to win. They're favored by 9.5 at home. So let's go through the 10 teams in the SEC with Auburn out. 5 Tennessee, 5 Vandy, 10 Texas, Georgia 9, Missouri 9, Arkansas 5, Bama 4, A&M 11, Kentucky is 6, and Florida has won 8 games in a row. They are a 2 seed right now. They could certainly make an argument for taking on one of those number 1 overall teams, Duke, Michigan, and UConn, and Arizona as the number 1 seeds. But we got some huge games tonight, so we're going to go through those and get your thoughts on those. You ready to go?
Absolutely.
First one, Tennessee on the road against South Carolina. Tennessee giving up 8.5. We know that road teams lose 2/3 of the time. I was reading that. Lenardi said that they win less than 1/3 of the time on the road. Road team was overall, which is an amazing stat. We talked about the home field advantage being the best in college hoops. Can South Carolina drub up Tennessee today? And my question to you is, what is Tennessee playing for?
Well, they're playing for, hopefully. I mean, right now they're sixth in the SEC. But if they were to win both their last 2 games, let's just say in Missouri or Kentucky slips up, Tennessee could move into the 4th seed, which would give them a double bye in the SEC tournament. So there's that. But the big question is, how is Rick Barnes going to play this with Nate Ament out? And how long is he going to be out? So what is going to be the thing? I lean towards taking Tennessee under their team total 75.5 in this game because I think Barnes is going to try to go tall against South Carolina. I think that would probably be the best move in that situation, especially to prep to get ready for Vandy Saturday. But there's no way I would lay 8.5 on the road, especially seeing how Tennessee collapsed in the second half at home without Ament, and on the last second shot, not knowing what to do without him.
Yeah, pair of 19 and 10 teams, and I can't believe I'm saying that A&M's got the same record as Kentucky does, but they do. Right now against the spread, they're both above 500 and over-unders, about even 12-12 on both sides for Kentucky. Kentucky is only giving up, they're catching 1.5 at A&M tonight. That's, again, another tricky team. If I wasn't just a basketball peripheral fan, and I'm not because I'm really into it, I would take Kentucky all day long because all I got to do is win the basketball game, but there's a reason why that line is so small.
I agree. Texas A&M at home, buckyball. They're going to pressure the stew out of Kentucky's guards. I think that probably gets it to be a little bit more high scoring than Kentucky wants. Your total sitting at 158.5, and the two teams have 79.5 and 81.5 on the point total. I mean, I've got to go with what Kip would do here, and I just like if I'm going to play that Tennessee South Carolina game, both of these games I'm taking the home team.
Okay. And that over-under is 161. There is an Alabama-Georgia game tonight where Bama's also giving up 1.5. The over-under 180. It's actually 179.5, but 180 is a lot funner to say. So I'm going to say it's going to push to 180 because just think about that. I mean, it's a 90-90 game. in regulation, my friends. And I'm betting that game may go over the total tonight because Georgia doesn't know how to play defense. And Alabama, if they're getting hot in the threes, they're not going to be back in transaction as well. What's your thoughts on Alabama giving a 1.5? It's an important game for Alabama. I mean, not only because they're winning basketball games where they won 7 or 8 in a row, but it's also crucially important that they keep that motivation, keep that chemistry going, of course, with Bediako out.
I am all over Alabama in this game.
Right.
Georgia is spiraling, which makes you say, hey, we should take Georgia. Alabama's playing as well as anybody in the country. They're coming off a hard-fought physical win where they did not shoot well at Tennessee. Georgia plays less defense than Alabama, which is amazing to say considering what Alabama did for the longest time. It's going to be up and down. 90-90 is scary, but, I mean, it's happened before, but we've already posted Alabama. Anybody watching, there you go. There's your play.
Yeah.
We posted Alabama already and posted it as a 5-star rating play.
Don't need the extra distraction, but Steven's certainly got it because his old man's out there, but that's what his old man's getting paid to do. The Auburn Tigers giving up 9.5. I think right now the Auburn Tigers just want a victory. They don't care about the spread, but could they get inside 9? LSU?
You know, I was looking at something on home court advantage, and so I'm getting – there's a point to this. Who do you think has the number one home court advantage in basketball in the country?
Oh, my gosh.
You're never going to get it.
You mean when you say home field advantage, what do you mean by what?
Home court advantage. So they play that much better at home, and their home court advantage it affects their rating.
No.
It's off the charts.
Gotcha.
So,
it's not the UAB Blazers. No.
Number one home court advantage in the country, according to KenPom, with all the adjusted ratings, is West Virginia.
Yep. Top place to play.
The number one SEC school home court advantage is Arkansas, which is 24th in the country, and then Auburn at 28th in the country. I say that to get to your point in this game. I don't know that Auburn has the scoring to do it, but that I can't. You know, it's very difficult to go against Auburn at home, and then you see what Auburn did when they play somebody like Florida, and then you go, what in the hell happened to this team over the last month? And I do think Stephen Pearl is more concerned with establishing himself to the kids in the locker room as the head coach, to the disciplinarian and everything, because I think he's busier and spends more time thinking about who to suspend or who to sit than he does game planning, which I respect the fact that he will bench a starter, bench a star, and if he loses the game, that's life. But I mean, let's be honest, this kid was not ready in this situation. And I said all that to go, if I play this game, I can't lay it. I have to take it. Hope to wait till it gets to 10 and take LSU plus 10, because I have seen LSU give some fight. They're not going to give up.
Yeah. Again, they're both 15 and 14. That over is 155, pretty high. And by the way, LSU 16 and 9 against the spread this year. So, I mean, they are a covering machine. They're getting it done. And again, this is one of those games where Auburn's one of the first teams out right now. Lenardi's pretty much good as gold. So every game is crucial for the Auburn Tigers. They've got to win whatever games they have in front of them, including perhaps a game or two in the SEC tournament, or else they're not going to get in.
And are they thinking about LSU tonight, or are they thinking about Saturday going to Tuscaloosa?
They better be thinking about LSU tonight, because Saturday don't mean shit if they lose tonight. If they lose tonight, people are just going to probably look on the wayside. Also, we got Florida minus 22.5, Mississippi State. You got anything to say about that? Mississippi State, one of the three teams, one of the worst teams in the SEC. But that being said, every team's pretty decent. But Florida giving up 22.5, and of course they're on that huge winning streak right now. 8 games in a row they've won. They're smoking hot. Of course, remember they're the defending champions. I think I saw. Who was it? Gillis or somebody this past weekend saying that he believes now that Florida may be odds on a chance to defend its title and actually win the term, despite the fact they're not at a 1 seed right now.
Well, they've moved up to 5, and they could move up to the 3rd or 4th 1 seed, depending on what happens. Probably not the 3rd, but UConn, and in my opinion, Florida's a much better team than UConn. I can see Florida moving up, and that would probably be a little bit better for them. Because if UConn dropped, then you're probably going to have maybe Florida, UConn, either way. But 91 for their team total tonight, unless Hubbard from Mississippi State just gets hot. I don't see any way Mississippi State can keep this game competitive. 22.5 is a lot. Yeah. I would love it under 20. I don't think it's going to fall. It may even climb. But again, this is one of those games where I'm going to lay it or I'm going to sit. It is senior night for Florida because they go to Kentucky this week. So that's another thing. And how long will Golden play his starters, play his seniors, and let them get after it?
Let's go outside the SEC for just a minute because my boy's going to be all over this. He is actually not going to be at the game because this is too damn hard to get tickets. He's like, dude, it is so hard to get North Carolina tickets. He's over there in Clemson. He's within a couple hours of Tobacco Road. But interesting line tonight. Clemson only catching 4.5 on the road at North Carolina tonight. That looks a little small to me. What are the gamblers telling us?
Total 142.5. Clemson 69, North Carolina 73. I would probably, I think they're going to get up and down the floor. Personally, I like North Carolina over their team total in this, even without one of their leading scorers. I think it's it's one of those games where the only way either team thinks they can win is to get up and down the floor and get out there. So I love that. I love North Carolina over the team total and probably over the total in this game.
All right.
For your boy, I hope Clemson wins.
Yeah, I do too. Particularly after that football season, he just had to endure. And I know he wants to see some championship something. He's like, dude, he's going to soccer games. He's going to field hockey games, lacrosse. I mean, he's going to see anything live. He wants to see anything. It's just he wants to see winning is what he wants to see, and he hasn't had a lot of that at Clemson.
Who does Clemson have Saturday? Because if you're North Carolina, what are you thinking about? Are you thinking about Clemson tonight, or are you thinking about Duke Saturday that's coming up?
Well, I don't see how you can look past North Carolina. I don't think you can ever look past.
For North Carolina, are they looking past Clemson to Duke? Who is clearly their rival. And Clemson, let's be honest, Clemson has not been a powerhouse in basketball that North Carolina has had to worry about year in, year out, game in, game out, like they have Duke, their natural enemy, if you will.
No, I mean, that's where coaching comes to play. And we always ask about these games, when you're playing these games late in the season and you're pretty much solidified. I think our 4-1 seeds are pretty much in. I don't think they can do anything to screw that up, even if they lose out. I don't think that's going to change anything right now. Maybe you can make an argument for Florida, maybe peeping in there. By the way, huge win for Houston the other night. We told you right here after they lost those back-to-back games against top 5 teams, they would blow them out of the ballpark, and they did. But no, you can't ever look ahead. You're at North Carolina. You're at home. You've obviously lost that game, or they won that game against Duke early in the season. By the way, Duke is saying they're going to blow them out. Everyone on the Duke squad said we cannot wait till North Carolina comes back because the way they lost that last game, it's just amazing because every time Duke North Carolina is on TV, it's a hell of a great ball game. I can't say that for any other rivalry, maybe Boston Yankees because they play each other so much, but every time those two teams are on the floor, it's something special, man. Dickie V's going to be there. There's they're going to have the big time announcers. But yeah, it should be interesting. Let me ask you this. We talked about this, and I had a really good interview with Mark Ingram, who I'll talk to again on Thursday. He has certainly been a proponent of expansion. I am too. Of all the leagues, there are basketball only lets in about 17%, or I think 17, 18% of its teams into postseason tournaments. And everywhere else is like 35, 36, 37%. Hell, the NBA lets teams that go in under 500 sometimes. We've seen that in the National Football League too. It's 7 to 9 teams getting in. But that being said, we're at 68 teams. From a fan standpoint, do you want the most deserving or do you want the best?
I want the best. I want the best, most deserving. So there you go.
Well, and I think that would be Miami at this point. I think Miami is the best, and I think they're the most deserving. I mean, it's hard to win every single. That being said, they're favored by 7.5 tonight, and it feels like the lines have been so close every single game. I have to go back and look at the Red Hawks and how close the lines have been in their games. But and of course, the game they just had, they had a buzzer beater where they win by 2. It's difficult. It's hard on a layup. Yeah, they get it done.
Well, Tony, they didn't ask my opinion, but I truly believe the NCAA committee is pigeonholed themselves into a corner with this whole, hey, the tournament champions get an automatic bid. To me, the longevity of the season and the team that wins the season, to me, should get the automatic bid. Conference championship tournaments and all that, that's great and wonderful. a team like Miami of Ohio, based on their body of work in their conference, the teams they have to play, the conference teams that are the same level as them, they should be rewarded for that. And if we're not going to do this the right way, then do what's going to end up happening with the NCAA and split them and have your Power 5 here and your Power 4 here and have those tournaments and have 18 national champions, a year. Otherwise, just go. And I know we've talked about it, sometimes till we're blue in the face. I know you and Kip want to see it expand and have 128 teams and more games and all that. I'm just more of a traditionalist. I didn't like it when we went to 68 in the stupid ass play-in game. I liked 64. I did think we needed to expand from 32, back in the 70s. I think it was the 80s, but still.
You're talking, there's 360 teams, for God's sakes. You know what I'm saying? Listen, you're only adding one more game. Everyone's like, you're adding twice as many teams. You're adding one more game. It's one more game. It's like, and again, we don't need a week off in between games. We have teams that play 5 games in 5 nights in their own conference tournament. So, that's very doable.
Yeah, but, it's just like,
For sake of this argument,
eventually we got to take away the participation trophies from these people because that's all it is.
Well, you're still going to have 250 teams that don't make it in. So, you're still going to have a shitload of teams that are.
They'll have 18 more tournaments for them.
Yeah.
CBI, NIT, and all these different things,
which is great. I don't have a problem with that. It gives us more chance to make some money.
Well, if they're going to make money, and that's the thing. A lot of these smaller schools lose money when they go play in the NIT or the CBA or whatever because of the fact they're going to, you've got Belmont going to play at East Washington University.
Well, it makes you wonder, too, now the fact that we are paying players, I wonder if there will be perhaps a little bit more of an NBA-adopted philosophy, and that is paying to win. If you come in, because, the CBI, I think it's a CBI where you actually have to pay to play in the tournament, but they pick up your travel and they pick up all your stuff. But if you had something where the players were actually going to make some money by winning the tournament, is there any shot that could happen down the road? Well, damn right there is. Why not? Why wouldn't there be? That's,
I don't disagree. I think it's dumb as hell the NBA did that in the middle of the year. And let's be honest, they did that to try to improve ratings and to try to get LeBron another title since he's never going to win a world championship again.
Yeah.
That's in my opinion. So, it's interesting. We're talking about this college basketball, and I'm going to give you a couple of not Tony Curry useless stats. I've got something for football to give you for that.
Okay.
But who do you think has the number one in offense and the number one defense KenPom ratings in the country overall? Number one offense.
I know Duke's in the mix. I know they're in the top 5. Alabama certainly scoring like a crazy, but their defense sucks. I have no clue.
Number one offensive rated team in the country is Illinois.
Okay.
Number one defensive team in the country is Duke. Now, if you adjust it with strength of schedule, things change. Duke drops to 4. Illinois drops out of the top 10. The number one offense based on strength of schedule is Florida, which we've been talking about. And the number one defense is Kansas, which is kind of interesting to me. And, me personally, I'm like, well, which Kansas team, with or without Peterson, because you never know when he's going to play and what's going to happen. And looking at what's coming up, and we've got this week and we have some tournaments going on, right now. There's three tournaments already going on this week. And
AAC, by the way, just want to mention AAC playing the BJCC.
When do they start?
March 10th. The women start March 9th. They'll start down there, and then the men start
next week.
Yeah, so next week. So a week from today.
I'm just going to be interesting to see where UAB ends up, because I think they are definitely in.
They may end up getting
playing on the road.
Yeah, they may be getting the double bye as well. So they played, and obviously that Memphis win a few games back was really important. They've got to clean up a couple of things, but it's just, just a really, listen, do I think that UAB is deserving to get in? No. Do I think that'd be fun to watch get in? Of course, I'm a UAB fan, but on any given night, man, that's one of those teams that you don't want to play them. And when they're playing well, because they had 12 guys that didn't know each other 3 months ago. So from that standpoint, it's interesting. And I bring that up because could Auburn make a splash in the NCAA tournament? We see that every year where you're in one of the teams that's always in the playing game seems to make a small run. And it could be a 12 and 18 man hat. It could be a team that came in and won their conference tournament and somehow made it in because, they won their tournament or they're at large. But it seems like one of those play-in teams in Dayton always ends up winning 2 or 3 games. And you're like, well, they got it right. They must have been deserving of that. Not so fast, my friend.
Well, there's something to be said about teams and getting hot and during tournaments. And I would certainly figure out a way to reward those teams and get them in. But again, I think, here's a question for you, Tony. Would Auburn be in if Bruce Pearl was the coach, just based on what the NCAA tournament thinks they could do because of coaching?
I would say no, but it certainly wouldn't hurt. And you better believe Bruce Pearl would be on the microphone every single night talking about. But you know what? Bruce Pearl wouldn't be 15 and 14. He'd be 17 and 11. I mean, he would have won a couple of those games that Auburn. There's no way they'd be 15 and 14 with Bruce Pearl at the helm. And again, Bruce is smart enough to, he wouldn't have benched some of his stars either. He wouldn't be badass. If he's trying to set a precedent here, it's your first year, just get through your first year, make the big dance. Everyone's going to be happy for you. And then you can grow from there and call your old man whenever you want. But it's not a good look at all. First of all, how he got the job and then not make the big dance his first year for the Auburn Tigers, because that's the only thing the Auburn Tigers have right now, man. They ain't got it on the football side right now. Basketball, that's what sucks about what's going on at Auburn right now and how that whole shit story went down. They're sitting there, their football team, they bring Hugh Freeze, supposed to be able to beat Nick Saban. He's gone. They still can't win squat. And so at least we have our basketball program. At least we can hang our hat on a Final Four team, and then Bruce in the middle of the night splits. And there he is on national TV on TNT talking about Miami of Ohio. I mean, what in the hell's going on, man? Something tells me too, I think there's about a 90% chance that Bruce Pearl will coach again.
Well, I personally like what Stephen Pearl has done with the disciplinarian side of it, coaching high school.
He's giving himself an out. I mean, he's giving himself, hey, listen, I had to make some moves. So, and Auburn fans are like, well, that's right. We're going to win by the coach, and doggone if it means losing a basketball game and not making the big dance, we stand behind our coach. Okay, well, good luck eating that popcorn in March.
And yeah, we'll see how they react. And I know a lot of Auburn fans, obviously, we're both in Alabama, so we look at it, a lot of Auburn fans very, very, very upset. I just think from a coaching standpoint, you don't see enough coaches stand up to, these kids that are now just all about me, that are now just.
Well, you know what? You don't get paid if you don't play. You don't get paid if you don't play. Well, coach, I'm getting paid.
If they've got an NIL deal and they're getting $1 million a year and he benches them, there's probably nothing in there that says you don't get paid.
That's right.
Like, screw it, I'm still getting paid.
Coach, I'm making $50,000. You got to play me. No, I don't. No, maybe that's one of the things, between that and academic eligibility. Maybe that's the one thing where coaches actually have a say in what's going on. Hey, I want to go through, and I'm sitting here looking at the bracket.
Hold on, Tony, because you haven't brought it up, and I'm kind of surprised. Maybe you're going there. I apologize. Mm-hmm. But Chaz Baker-Lazario.
Yes.
You remember him?
I do.
You saw the stuff come out, didn't you, that he is no longer with the Southern Cal Trojans. He was dismissed from the team.
Oh, I did not see this.
In year, 19 of his eligibility. Yeah, he was dismissed last week, right before the weekend. Haven't seen a lot of it. I was kind of surprised knowing what he was making NIL out there, leading scorer, leading steals, leading assists on their team, all this stuff. But maybe it wasn't Auburn that was the problem when he left there. Maybe he was the problem. I know that's not popular these days for it to actually be an individual person's fault.
Sure.
And to be able to blame it on someone else. I just thought that was very interesting to come about, just while we were talking about the Auburn coaching situation and discipline.
Now, before you get to some of these useless Tony Curry stats, I want to hear some of these things. You said you had some football stuff. I'm just looking over the bracket and some things that are sticking out to me. I just want to throw some things. We love the Cinderella story. I mean, it's fun, and that's the beauty of seeing Michigan play Howard. I mean, I'll tune in. I mean, I want to watch that. I do. I want to see that. I know a lot of people do. You got Tennessee and Yale, which I think is a really interesting matchup. That 5-12 was always good. Vanderbilt, Liberty. You got Virginia against California Baptist. I mean, come on. I mean, it's a 4-13 matchup. You got the Zags against UNC Wilmington.
Hey, UNC Wilmington could pull that win very easily if what's his name from Gonzaga's not back. They've got a decent little team. Yeah, they still need to win conference tournament, but they've got a good little team, and I can see that.
Wisconsin, Texas is interesting. Michigan State, Wright State is really interesting. We mentioned Houston. They bounced back there at the 2 seed. They got Portland State. These are just according to Lenardi right now. Clemson, by the way, is an 8 seed right now. They'd be taking on Missouri, which would be an interesting matchup for the Clemson Tigers. Again, I'd be rooting for the Clemson Tigers. Sorry, SEC. I'm not going to be going there. Texas Tech right now is a 4 seed. Alabama, 4 seed.
Hey, answer me this, Tony.
Troy's a 14.
Who's scarier 4 seed? Who's scarier, Texas Tech or Alabama? I say Alabama all day.
I'd say Alabama just because, and I know that you live and die by the 3, but they have done a really good job. And the fact that they've actually got a big man and a little bit of a presence in the paint right now, wow, that just kind of throws the whole thing in a tizzy, man. I mean, it's like block the 3, block the 3, block the 3. When you're shooting more 3s and 2s, you know where they're going. They're not going to go. And so all of a sudden they're going inside. And you're like, whoa, hold on a second, man. That just opens up so much outside shooting. It's unbelievable. By the way, right now it would be Kentucky. This is interesting. And the Red Hawks of Miami, which are right down the street from Lexington, Kentucky, about 3 hours. What do you think the line would be on that game? On a neutral site, that would be in Philadelphia, Kentucky, and Miami of Ohio. What line do you think that would be on that game right now?
Kentucky's probably be 5.5.
I was going to say 6. I was going to say 6, and I know a lot of people will be rooting for Miami of Ohio in that game. Okay, so going along with our who's got a better chance of blowing a team out, this is interesting. Who do you think's got a better shot at blowing the other team out, Miami or Kentucky?
Kentucky.
What?
Just because of the teams they played, the schedule, but what team can screw up the most or give a game away between those two would also be Kentucky.
Yeah.
Miami of Ohio has been in many closer games than Kentucky. Kentucky's played a stronger strength of schedule, obviously. But yeah, it would be interesting to see that because just like tonight, Miami of Ohio, I mean, if I'm playing that game, I'm laying the points with them tonight. But as you pointed out, they have not been great against the spread the last couple of weeks for sure. And they've had, I think, 4 last minute games in their last 5. So that would be interesting. But that'd be interesting to see. Kentucky, Miami of Ohio, which is the reason why we all love the NCAA tournament, because you get some crazy matchups. And then you always have those 2 or 3 matchups, and generally speaking, it's going to come in the second round where the NCAA goes, screw with us all year. This is what we're going to do to you. Mm-hmm. We're going to make 2 of the best teams play each other in the second round, or maybe in the round of 16 instead of getting to an Elite 8 or a Final 4. I do find that interesting because you know the conversations that are going to happen 2 weeks from now, Tony. Oh, so and so got screwed because they got so and so and so and so and so and so in their bracket. Well, I personally don't think anybody in the country can't be beat. I don't think we're in a situation, unlike a lot of people, where they're already saying Duke's going to win it all, Duke's going to win it all, Duke's going to win it all.
Yeah.
Duke's going to have to play 2 or 3 really good games in a row, as is Michigan, Arizona, any of those teams. So I would knock UConn out of that and put Florida up there because I think if Florida is a 1 seed with Duke, Arizona, and Michigan, then I think those are the best 4 teams, and hopefully that's a Final 4. But when's the last time we had a Final 4 with all 1 seeds?
Yeah.
Or even all 1 and 2 seeds? I bet it's been 20 years.
I don't think it's been that long. I think that stat came up a couple of years ago, and I think we actually had all 4s 3 or 4 years ago. It's interesting. I was going back because if Miami wins tonight, they're 30-0. And I was going back and just looking at some of the teams that started the season 30-0. Do you remember Wichita State, the Shockers, back in 2013, 2014? They went 35-1 and lost in round 32.
That was Shaka Smart, wasn't it?
Yep. The Bruins in 63-64 went 30-0 to start. The Houston Cougars in 67-68. 2014, 2015 Kentucky Wildcats. I remember having several people on the he was the Sanford head coach. Damn it, what was his name? Kentucky center. And was talking about, Kentucky or the field. I remember it was like everyone just had Kentucky. You just take Kentucky and go backwards because no one was going to go against Kentucky in 2014, 2015. Indiana State, the Sycamores, 33-1, lost the championship game in 78-79. How about Indiana State perhaps winning a national title? North Carolina Tar Heels won 32-0 and 55-56, 66-67. This is how long it's been.
I know, but you got to think about what you're talking about. You're talking about Indiana State, and for people out there that are young, they forget that was freaking Larry Bird.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the reason why. And who did they lose to in the championship game?
Mm-hmm.
Magic.
Yep. How about that? Runner Rebs in 90 and 91. Tark sucking on the towel, went 34-1, lost in the Final Four. Yeah, they got to the Final Four before being upset 79-77 to Duke, which fell by 30 points in the title game a year earlier to the Rebs. So it's crazy. The 72-73 Bruins went 30-0. It's crazy. Like almost every one of these teams is the Bruins or the Hoosiers. Bobby Knight's team, 31-1, lost in the Elite Eight. Indiana Hoosiers won 32-0, won the national title, which is one of the greatest seasons in all of basketball. That was 1975 and 71. And the number one team, according to this list, to start 30-0, the 71-72 Bruins, who went 30-0 and won the national title, arguably the best team of all time. So some teams that you're putting yourself in some real rarefied air, despite the fact your schedule sucks. But good for the Red Hawks, good for them. And 30-0 tonight if they can knock off Toledo. So I'll be watching that game tonight. But I'll bet you it lands on 6 or 7. It'll be amazing because it's crazy. All right, give me some of those crazy stats, brother. What do you got?
All right, so this is interesting. So football coaches in the SEC, what do you think the buyout right now still owed per year is to fired SEC coaches since 2020?
Total. Oh my gosh, I wouldn't even. I had this. We actually
season.
Yeah, we actually talked about this because it's like there's like 5 coaches and it's like 6 or that's like $30 million to $40 million, something like that.
$300 million.
$300 million. Jeez.
Auburn owes 52.6 of that. Florida owes 33. Gus Malzane's owed 21.5. Will Muschamp 12.9. Derek Mason, who?
Derek Mason
2.16 from Vandy. That's kind of sad. Dan Mullen still owed $12 million. Ed Orgeron 16.8. Brian Harsin 15.3. Zach Arnett from Mississippi State, 4.5. Jimbo still owed $77 million.
No, none of these guys are coaching, by the way.
He was fired in 23. Sam Pittman, 9.8. Hugh Freeze, 15.8.
Sam Pittman gets $9.8 million? That fool?
Yeah, 9.8. Billy Napier, $21 million. Mark Stoops, $38 million. I mean, hey, how great would it be to be like a 15% winning coach in the SEC and you're owed $38 million for getting fired from damn Kentucky?
How good would it be to get a guy 5% agent? How good is it to be Jimmy Sexton right now? I mean,
I'm telling you, I want to come back as a fired SEC football coach in my next life.
No doubt. That's incredible. That really is. That's crazy. All right. We've got all kinds of stuff going on, man. Go to K4Wins.com, K4Wins.com. If you listen to the top of the show, you heard Kai talking about Major League Baseball. You're like, wait a minute, they don't even start. No, we'll bet on it, man. We got taken on one there. But if it plays, it pays. And we're going to get after it. So
we had a lot of overs and not in the grapefruit spring training league in Florida, but when they went to Arizona, and you've got totals in Arizona at 9, 9.5, 10, 11, 11.5, and the games are ending 14-8, 14-9. I mean, we had 3 overs last week that we played in the early morning games. So it was like 1 o'clock in Arizona playing, and all 3 of them went over by the 6th inning.
Yeah,
so very easy. But I caution people when you're betting exhibition baseball, you have to pay attention to who you're betting, who's pitching, and the managers, because a lot of these managers will pitch somebody 3 innings and be like,
you better look at the pitch count. Yeah, you better listen. If you're at a game, I mean, Kip was down there with the Legend last week. I get it. If you're down there, I'm going to put some action up. I'm watching it live. I love betting on live sports. It's fantastic. But yeah, you may want to wait till the big boys actually start playing for real, coming up a little bit later in March, early April. And by the way, if I'm not mistaken, I believe K4Wins kicked some serious arsage, in the SEC baseball tournament last year. I think we were all over it, which of course is right here in Hoover. We have inside information, believe it or not, because we're here. We know what the grounds play like. We know, what they do with that baseball stadium. It's amazing how many, pitchers who are maybe change-up pitchers have different lines than fastball pitchers. You know what I'm talking about? The grass sometimes is a little deeper than it should be. Just saying, Wrigley Field used to have deep grass as well whenever a knuckleballer was up there. So that's something to keep in mind. So when it comes to the SEC, we kind of know what we're talking about. So, all right.
Hey, you'd appreciate this, Tony. Yeah, because I'll actually be at the Met. My son has hitting at the Met tonight. We actually played at Rickwood Field this past weekend.
Nice. Is that place unbelievable? Was that the first time you were there?
No, I've coached some of the other travel teams, and I coached a high school game there.
The Major League Baseball game was unbelievable there, and of course, the death of the man of honor that happened during that weekend was just. I mean, you could not make a story up like that. It was just amazing. Well, what an incredible ballpark! I had an opportunity to go in there about 30 years ago when I first started doing sports radio, and I looked over that place, the fine tooth comb, for like 4 hours trying to find treasure. I knew there was something in that ballpark that someone forgot to take, whether it was a card, whether it was a pen, whether it was a dime, whether it was something, and I couldn't find squat. I was up on the roof. I went on the rooftop. I was looking in little cracks and crevices trying to find something from the 30s or 40s that I thought would have been. Harmon Killebrew was in town. Got a chance to hang out with him, who's no longer with us, but hung out with him for the baseball game. And those crazy used to wear a wool suit. I was part of the celebrity game and had to wear a wool baseball suit. It was 97 degrees. It itched like hell. I had the hives. It was unbelievable. But wow, what an amazing ballpark. If you get a chance to go check it out. And I think they're wanting to do another Field of Dreams there, which would be fantastic. I'm so glad they put all that money in the ballpark. They had to go play there. But it's just amazing how many people.
They got to get the lights working because the lights don't work right now.
That's something that Major League Baseball should pony up and do that for sure.
But the field is in immaculate shape. Walked on the field Saturday before and after the game.
And the neighborhood is great too. The neighborhood is great. I mean, come on, man. The neighborhood is killer. I mean, it's great. It reminds me of old Crosley Field. Yeah. I mean, you have to walk and you have to carry a pistol with you, but it's fantastic.
Oh, yeah. We were pulling down 3rd Avenue, and I had my left arm down with my gun, in there, and my right arm was on the steering wheel, but I had another gun right here, and I was like, I'm looking around, like, good grief.
Just in case.
Yeah, just in case.
Our murder's down 33% from last year, so we're doing something right. The mayor must be doing something right. All right, man, K4Wins.com, K4Wins.com. Hopefully we'll be back later on this week. We'll get after it here. Case Keefer, of course, executive director and chief editor of the Las Vegas Sun, and Kip Keefer joined us. We also do a TV show called The Starting Lineup, which is going to be coming up. We're going to be all over basketball, and some new clients that we're going to be talking about as well. Master Scarcella's Taekwondo, one of our new clients, going to be joining us on the Starting Lineup this weekend as well. Thank you, my friend. We'll talk in a little bit.
Enjoy.
This has been a special presentation of Tony Curry Radio.